When you're 25 and still lost, a healing story about finding your life direction. Some periods in life feel like standing in a long, quiet hallway with too many doors and no clear instinct about which one to open. 25 is often one of those periods, not because something is wrong with you, but because the world around you has convinced you that clarity should have arrived by now, gift-wrapped, labeled, and ready to follow. A young man named Daniel once sat across from me with this exact heaviness. He looked tired in a way that doesn't come from lack of sleep, but from carrying questions alone for too long. He rested his hands in his lap, stared at the floor for a moment, and said almost apologetically, "I thought I'd know who I am by now." He wasn't lost. He wasn't failing. He was simply 25 and honest, a combination more vulnerable than most people realize. Daniel described this quiet tension he felt every morning, a sense of being pulled in different directions without knowing which one belonged to him. His friends were announcing promotions, engagements, moves to new cities, and he was waking up each day wondering, what am I actually doing? He wasn't jealous. He wasn't resentful. He was scared. He told me, everyone else seems to have a plan, as if life came with assigned tracks, and his had somehow gone missing. He talked about scrolling through social media and watching other people's progress like it was evidence of something lacking in him. "They're moving forward," he said, "and I feel like I'm circling." I listened, and I reminded him gently that direction doesn't come to everyone at the same time. Some people discover it early, others much later, and many change course several times before they feel aligned. There's no schedule for self-discovery, no finish line at 30, no prize for figuring it out the fastest. Daniel nodded but struggled to believe it. "I should know what I want," he insisted, as if desire were something you decide rather than uncover. He talked about the pressure he felt from his parents, even though they rarely said much directly. The pressure lived more in the expectations he imagined they had, expectations he'd never actually asked about. He talked about professors who once asked him about his 5-year plan, a question that should be banned from anyone under 40. He talked about co-workers who spoke with certainty he couldn't relate to. "I keep waiting for a sign," he said quietly, "something that tells me where to go next." Most people searching for direction don't actually need signs. They need permission. Permission to go slowly. Permission to explore. Permission to not know. Permission to step away from what drains them without having the next thing lined up. I asked Daniel what he enjoyed, not what he excelled at, not what looked good on a resume, but what made him feel present. He thought about it for a long time before saying, "Small things. Cooking, being outside, helping people. Simple answers, spoken gently. But simple answers often reveal more truth than grand declarations." He said, "None of those feel like a real path." And I told him something I've said to many others. A path doesn't become a path until you've walked far enough to see where it leads. Direction rarely appears fully formed. It grows from small moments of alignment. It grows from curiosity. It grows from trying things without expecting them to be permanent. Daniel wasn't stuck. He was overwhelmed by possibility. That's a very different kind of uncertainty. During the weeks that followed, something in Daniel began to soften, not because he found one clear direction, but because he stopped treating certainty as a requirement. He stopped waiting for a perfect answer and started noticing small truths he had overlooked. One afternoon, he walked into my office with a calmer expression. "I realized something," he said. "I don't need to pick the rest of my life right now." That realization alone created more space than any advice could. He had started doing small experiments, taking a weekend class, volunteering at a community center, shadowing a colleague from another department. Nothing major, nothing life-altering. Just small steps to see what felt like him. "I'm not trying to force a path anymore," he told me. "I'm just paying attention." That's how direction forms in real life, not through dramatic insight, but through consistent noticing. What energizes you? What drains you? What feels natural? What feels forced? Which moments make time move quickly? Which ones make you shrink? These questions shape direction far more honestly than asking, "What should I do with my life?" Daniel began realizing that most of his fear wasn't about the future itself. It was about the feeling that he was behind friends, behind expectations, behind the imaginary timeline he believed adults were supposed to follow. He said, "It's strange. When I stopped comparing, my life didn't feel so empty anymore. It felt open." Openness is frightening only when you think you're supposed to fill it immediately. But space is not failure. Space is opportunity. Daniel's progress wasn't loud. He didn't switch careers overnight. He didn't wake up with a perfect plan. He didn't suddenly lose all fear. But he did start trusting himself. One of the most meaningful things he said came near the end of our work together. "I always thought direction was something you discover once. Now I think it's something you build piece by piece." Exactly. Direction isn't a single choice. It's a relationship with yourself. It grows when you give yourself patience instead of pressure. It strengthens when you stop performing for others and start listening within. It appears gradually, the way morning light fills a room, soft at first, then clearer, then impossible to ignore. Daniel didn't end up with a perfect map. He ended up with something far better, a sense of trust in his ability to navigate. He understood that being 25 is not about having life figured out. It's about learning how to move through uncertainty with curiosity instead of fear. And maybe that's what you need too. Not answers, not guarantees, not a 5-year plan. Just this. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are unfolding. Slowly, gently, in your own rhythm. And the future isn't something you must chase. It's something that meets you halfway. Once you're ready to take that next small step forward.